Today's sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to the Tar Heel State, where the legacy of the late, great Sam Mills lives on with each pound of the drum. And that means we are ready for football here at Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. Straight ahead, we've got a pretty good one on tap here, as it'll be the Washington Commanders taking on the Carolina Panthers. Ready for football now from sunny North Carolina. And off we go from Uptown Charlotte. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Here are the Commanders for their first drive of the game. And they will be led out by their signal caller in his second year in the NFL now.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one is capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
A good position to be in here, second and inches. Off the play fake, Daniels. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. A gritty play there. Put his nose down and got his guys a first.
That's good. And that's an early scramble that can be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish him as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play in one of their first tests in containing a quarterback on the run.
And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
Now an option play on second down. And holding it may be the wrong decision as he stopped in the backfield. That second down play nets a -4. Well, that play never really got off the launching pad. He had a linebacker in his face before he had a chance to do much of anything.
Yeah, I think it's big boys up front, that offensive line. They've got to do a little bit better job of protecting him if they're going to continue to run the option like this.
Working out of the gun, Daniels. Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 35. 21 yards there on third down.
First down. First and 10 at the 35-yard line.
And on this first drive, looks like they want to get that vertical passing game going early.
And they did, and what a warning shot they just fired. If you're not going to back up and play coverage deep, we're going to attack you all game long. And once you adjust to that and you start to back off, then that opens things up underneath. A really nice start for them. Great way to get the game going.
Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
And every time you step on a field, coaches are always going to talk about how important tackling is in a ball game. In this one, especially so. You can't allow these guys to break free and get extra yards after contact, but that's exactly what happens here. That can't continue as this game goes on.
It's complete to Brown, right side. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And it'll be second down. Zero hesitation that time. That was get ball, throw ball.
Yeah, turn into a smoke route. If you see the coverage off the receiver, doesn't matter whether you call it a run or not. Just take the ball, get it out to him.
To the air goes Daniels. Now he'll tuck this and run. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
It's a gain of 14 yards. That's another Washington Commanders.
I can't be sure how much of that was planned pre-snap, but it certainly opens up some avenues for their offense. And if he can stay a threat to break off those kind of runs, it'll pull defenders away from coverage and open up some choice throwing lanes for him moving forward.
And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. 2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's second down.
Brings up second and goal.
White will score. Touchdown, Commanders.
Well, just about an ideal start to this one offensively, because on the road, you want to make sure you quiet the home crowd early. And how do they do it? Nice march to start things off. Let the run game find its footing early. That drive certainly checked a lot of boxes, and they finished it off with a touchdown run.
Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. It's good, and Washington will take a 7-0 lead. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it was Rachaad White who wrapped the drive up with a touchdown run. Brown now to kick it away after the touchdown. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by their third-year quarterback.
And there's a word that constantly gets thrown around with this guy when you talk to anyone in the building. Potential. They're sky high on what they believe he can grow into in the role of a starting quarterback. In addition, there are plenty around the league who think that as well. And years from now, he can still be leading this offense out.
Charles, already trailing by a touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
And that nearly an interception here on this opening drive, but he gets a reprieve. It's third down. Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. And that will be incomplete.
Intended for Chuba Hubbard.
That was their first third down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key third down throws.
On fourth down, Carolina going to send out Sam Martin to punt. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. They call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. Play action, now it's Daniels. He completes this one to Terry McLaurin. They'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. The end result, 21 yards.
Well, as a coach, you absolutely love seeing your offense find their rhythm early, and that's exactly what we've seen so far. They had a touchdown on their opening drive, and now they connect here for another nice gain for a first down. This offense is moving the ball well, exactly as he drew it up in practice.
And he's just going to run right into that big old defensive end, and that play going nowhere. Not what they had in mind there. That's going to go as a loss of 4. This defense not fooled one bit on that touch pass.
And this has become one of those kind of in vogue plays, you know, kind of like the shuffle pass was a few years ago. This one never got off the ground, but you understand why a lot of teams are running it. These wide receivers, a lot of them, they run like running backs with the ball in their hands.
They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
And that is incomplete. Strong coverage by Carolina. And on we go to 4th down.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
Feeling like they're not quite in field goal range yet. They're going to go for it on 4th. Daniel's going to throw for it. He'll try to do it, and he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. Washington goes for it, but it does not pan out. And that will force a turnover on downs. Oh, offensive nightmare there. You go for it on 4th, and the play doesn't even really get to develop a sack.
And it's so unfortunate, too, because you think you've got something good called, but if your offensive line can't hold up, that's often the result. They find a way back to the quarterback.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their own 44. It's a pretty strong running there as he'll take this across the 50 and down to the 44. A quick 1st down pickup. Good start after going 3 and out on their opening drive.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all. Challenging that defense, and on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. Nifty move. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back 1st downs.
They suspected that it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on 1st down.
Young to throw it. That's complete to Chuba Hubbard. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay gain.
And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
It's now 4th down.
Well, that's one way you take away a 1st down as a defender. Make sure you have a little bit of physical play when the ball gets to the receiver. Find a way to jostle it free. They caught him off guard, forced the incompletion.
A 39-yard attempt.
And his kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. Well, in a close game like this, obviously you want the touchdown, but certainly they will take the 3.
And they'll be okay with that, but let's throw a little credit to the defense as well. I'm just glad this doesn't come down to a debate, right? Which side won, partner? Because the defense, hey, we didn't give up a touchdown. The offense, hey, we put 3 on the board. Either way you look at it, I think both sides gained something out of that drive.
And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. They're coming off a 4th down gamble that last drive that backfired CD, but really not as badly as it could. Their defense held up and only gave up 3 points.
And what they want to do is play off the momentum the defense gave them. Only giving up the 3 points in that situation after they failed on 4th down. Now they want to make it pay off. They want to pay homage to the defense and have their own drive pay off in points for themselves.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backs out of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice 1st down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on 1st down. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a first down.
Fast, slow, it doesn't matter. If you give a quarterback enough room to escape, he can hit you for a big gain. You've got to give him a little more focus moving forward.
Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47.
It's a loss of 2.
That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's second down. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. And Washington with the football here to begin quarter number 2. As they've got it second down and 12. Brown the motion man right. Now a fake on the jet sweep, and off the play action, he'll look to throw it. Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss. And this is a quarterback who's already had success on the ground in this first half, but this time they're able to hem him in.
And it's always different when you rush a mobile quarterback as opposed to a guy you know will be right back in the pocket. In this case, you got to make sure the inside pressure and the outside pressure match, and maybe even a second wave to make sure if he squirts free, you've got someone to tackle him.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Daniels looking to throw. And he's going to go down again. Jalen Phillips. 2 plays in a row now that he has gotten in there for the sack, and it brings up fourth down.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
So on fourth down, Washington going to call on Tress Way to punt it away. Fair catch called. It's taken in right at the 20-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And the Panthers will take over now, first and 10. They'll run with a big back, A.J. Dillon. And they'll get to him quickly here as he'll get a yard, just a yard to the 22.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
Second and 9. Straight ahead with Hubbard. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. 1 yard and now no yards. Have him looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation.
Early down stuff's to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Throwing, Young. And this is going to be incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's fourth down. Problems on third down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down.
Returnable here from the 38. So a good punt there, but a nice return of 11 yards. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. Looking to put a drive together. They go play action. Daniels. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Nick Scorton. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. From the shotgun, it's Daniels. Now he's going to step up and run. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. Give him 9 on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. I thought they were going to sack him there like they did on 1st down. Great coverage, but he found a way to move with his legs.
Yeah, his ability to take off, not only did he get some yardage back, he got a little bit extra. Really helps him on 3rd down, makes it manageable now.
And the throw there going to be incomplete. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
Tressway on 4th down is sent out to punt. And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line. Here are the Panthers now as their offense comes back out onto the field. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Young off the bootleg. A short throw hauled in by Trimble. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
That was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
This offense so far on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 6. To throw, Young. He gets this one to Hubbard, complete. And he is going to have a Panthers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That's good for a Panthers 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line.
But they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the 1st half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball possibly in the open field. And I think in the 2nd half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
In motion goes the tight end. On play action, Young. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Now he'll tuck this and run. Young scrambling and able to pick up the first with his legs.
A gain of 15 yards. And the Panthers 1st down. 1st and 10.
That's the first time he's called his own number, but he's got to be overjoyed with the results. He wasn't just going to settle for a modest gain. To me, he was determined to come through with a big message to a defense that slept on him in the pocket.
Oh, Young loses it. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. Every week we hear talk about create turnovers. In particular, they wanted to force some fumbles. They got one right there.
And it shows you how the game has changed over time. It used to be good enough for a guy to get a sack of a quarterback in the pocket. Now, if you come to the sidelines and you didn't knock the ball free, your coaches are upset with you, all right? So if you're a quarterback, it starts all the way back in the youth leagues. Take care of the ball, take care of the ball, take care of the ball, because here come the defenders.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They give to White on the option. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Ball on the 30 now. Here's second down and 8. Read option. This is White. And he's able to work his way down inside the red zone to the 19-yard line. It's a first down for Washington on a pickup of 11.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast.
And he's going to go down back at the 27-yard line. He's sacked. Bobby Brown coming right up the gut. Gets in there for a loss of 9. Well, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
They come up on second and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. The tight end in motion right. Running out of the gun with White. And they've got it in the red zone now, down at about the 19. 40 yards rushing for him now in the ballgame. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
That is caught inside the 5. And the Commanders are going to have first and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
And the Washington first down. First and goal at the 2-yard line.
2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3 our score. Brown goes in motion left. Now they show jet sweep, but instead a run up the middle here. And he will take it in. Touchdown, Commanders. Rashad White with his second touchdown here in this first half, as his guys are able to extend their lead. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Extra point right down the middle. And that pushes the lead up to 11. A drive that time of 6 plays. And it was Rashad White who wrapped the drive up with a touchdown run. Brown now to kick it away after the touchdown. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Panthers now set to take over offensively. Last time out, they had the fumble. That led to the touchdown. Not a great look on either side of the ball as the defense gave up the points too, Charles. But they've got to take care of the football and do better here on this possession.
It's certainly been a tough stretch, partner, for both of those units, and they kind of put their defensive mates in a really tough spot there by dropping the ball on the ground. But an easy way to make it up to them, get out there now and get some points on this drive.
And they'll come up 2nd and 7. Looking to throw, Young. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender. Couldn't create space, couldn't uncover at the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Young. Now he's going to step up and run. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
40-yard line.
Young. And a dangerous throw there, incomplete. He threw that into coverage. It was nearly intercepted.
Second and 10 at the 40-yard
And I think he was a little surprised to see the ball sitting out there like that. That's a ball he had a chance to come away with, but it winds up an incomplete pass.
Young's incompletion on first down leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll set up to throw. Caught by Trimble. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 40. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
First and 10 at the 40-yard line.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
A 1st and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a one-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earned a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. They'll throw again. Young. They'll run the screen with Hubbard. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
That's a nice design there, but sometimes, though, you get so many blockers out ahead of you, they kind of slow you down and force you to adjust. You always appreciate guys trying to help you, but maybe one less there could have turned this into a bigger game.
Now Young. And he is caught. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 20-yard line. The Panthers going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. It'll be Young again. Over the middle, complete into the hands of Trimble. So the completion good for 6 yards. And it'll be 2nd down.
The completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
This 2nd and 4. Here is Young. He's got it for a Panther touchdown. Tommy Trimble in the final seconds of the first half. And the Panthers are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half. So the late touchdown there, and that certainly changes things as we move toward halftime.
Yeah, and there's a potential for things to change even more because, remember, they get the ball first to start the 3rd quarter. So they can potentially double up here and take the lead. A great opportunity for them.
Ryan Fitzgerald now to add the extra point. And he's got it. That cuts the lead. It's now 14-10. A 10-play drive that time. And the end result, a Panthers touchdown. Maybe time for one play on offense. 7 seconds to go in the half as the kick is away. And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out there set ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. They'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And an anxious moment or two there, but they do get him down. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the 2nd quarter. A final shot before break. Daniels. He's going to take a shot at the end zone. Why not? That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Halftime coming up. Let's get you down to Orlando and our buddy Scott Hansen with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks much. Welcome in, everyone, to the downtown Orlando studios. Scott Hansen and crew with you for a short and sweet halftime, as this game's had a little bit of everything to it. We'll find out which side can establish some tempo in the third quarter as we're ready to kick off the second half. Back out to our commentary team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Scott, thank you. And this one's still anybody's game. We'll see who can come out with a hot hand in this second half as we are about to get underway. The Panthers going to get the football first, trailing here as well as we resume play in this second half. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Out come the Panthers. They'll have it first on offense in the third quarter. And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air.
He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a first down.
That's a pretty throw right there. That ball's in the air a long time, but it's right on the money on the right sideline. A really good route. Moving the defenders towards the middle of the field before breaking to the sideline. What a completion there. Big-time arm strength. Very nice route.
And he'll be pretty well stopped in his tracks. Give him a yard up to the 42.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
And he'll be tackled at the 45 following a gain of just 2.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Now here's Young. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hubbard. And he is going to have the Panthers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And the Panthers first down.
They certainly had success throughout this contest getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
And they'll run on first down with Hubbard. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Young now from the 50. Got a man, that's Leggett. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. The previous play, they barely got back to the line of scrimmage. Now they pick up over 30 yards.
1st and 10 at the 18-yard line.
This is what made the West Coast offense a staple around the NFL in the 80s and 90s. You don't have to push the ball deep downfield to come up with big plays, and there's an example of that right there.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. They'll give this to Hubbard running right. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game. Hubbard is not going to get a whole lot, maybe a yard down to the 3. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
leads to
They were the 46 defense just plugging up the middle.
And you know what the 46 means, right? That means you take up the first three guys, the center and the two guards. You cover them with your big people up front. I don't understand why you're trying to run up the middle against the 46 defense. The old Bears showed us it wasn't able to be done. They didn't get it done on that one either.
And this one incomplete. Oh, he couldn't hang on to it in the end zone, and that's one that'll haunt you. And now it brings up third down. They go play action. Young to the end zone, but it's incomplete. You can already start to hear this crowd. They're saying, go for it.
Yeah, have we ever been at a game where you've heard the crowd go, field goal, field goal?
No, I have not. That's a good point.
Yeah, they always want to go for it, and I think they've got the right idea right now. The way they've moved the ball in this drive, I wouldn't stop that momentum. Go get it.
And his kick here is good. And the lead is down to 1 now at 14-13. So they were facing the deficit coming out of the locker room at intermission, and at least they're able to get the field goal to cut into that deficit.
Yeah, now your offense feels pretty good about itself, right? A little bit more up to speed coming out of the break. You turn to your defense now and say, hey, we got 3 there. We're chipping into the lead. Can you help us out? Hold them. Let's get the ball back for us.
And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. First possession of the second half now for Washington. Looking to put a drive together. And they'll run the option to start the drive. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and it's picked up by the Panthers. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. He had the option there, decided to keep it, exposed himself and fumbled it.
Yeah, and you worry about the hits he's going to take in that situation. In this case, not only does he take the hit, he coughs the ball up, as you noted.
The Carolina offense about ready to go. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. Now 2nd and 9. In motion, the tight end. Off the play fake, Young. A short throw hauled in by Trimble. And he'll go down at the 26, following a gain of 6.
That coach is always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
Young now. And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up.
Maybe a little frustration starting to creep in. The offensive line hasn't done a great job of protecting him in this game, and there he was, hit again as he threw it.
Yeah, another time on his backside, probably starting to get a little frustrated.
Got to keep his composure. Can't let the defense know that they're getting to him.
And his kick is indeed good, and with it, they have taken the lead. So the fumble recovery had him set up in ideal field position, but they can muster only 3 points out of it.
Yeah, when you're able to force turnovers, especially when it results in field position like they had, you really want to make it hurt. Here, they take the field goal. That's definitely not what they were hoping for.
So now after the field goal, Fitzgerald back out there to send this one away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Here comes the Commanders' offense back onto the field. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal? And they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive a little more pep in their step because it didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Play action, now it's Daniels. That's going to be caught downfield by McLaurin. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A gain there of 21 yards.
But certainly as a fan, you get a little bit nervous when you see him make those kind of throws. But they work on that in practice more than we know. And most of them now know their limits and know what they can get away with. And there's a completion right there.
They run the option here on 1st and 10. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be 2nd down.
Typically on the read option play, when we talk about responsibilities, we're talking about what the quarterback has to go through. How about the inside linebacker, though? His job on this play, shadow the quarterback and hold him to a short gain. Did it to perfection.
To throw is Daniels. This will be caught by Brown. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Here is 3rd and 5. Throwing now is Daniels. He'll try and do it. And he's going to... Corner blitz that time by J.C. Horn, and he got home and dropped him. I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational. CD, that is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack is a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. Taking it about the 16. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And it will be the Panthers' ball, 1st and 10. The Panthers' offense had Chuba Hubbard set to take over once more. And you look at his numbers as a pass catcher in this one. They've lined him up in different spots, shifted him around, and made him a real weapon in the passing game. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a 1st down.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the 1st down.
A short throw held in by Trimble. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately because if you let that big guy get ahead of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. Ball on the 40 now. Here's 2nd and 6. Young to throw it. That's to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Now Young. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And they're going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 36. That's a 3rd down conversion of 24 yards there. Nice play. Had to put that ball in there with a little extra zip, and he put it right where it needed to be.
Yeah, and that little extra pace that he had on the pass, that required a little extra concentration for him, didn't it? Ball can get on you pretty quick in that moment, and he handled it well and picked up the 1st down.
And running room time scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage.
1 yard gain.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Throwing, Young. This is caught by McMillan.
Young's pass, complete to Tiburon McMillan. It's a gain of 8. Brings up 3rd and 1.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we're back now in Charlotte. It's been a good one so far, just a 2-point game here as we get set for quarter number 4. They'll try and run for this with Hubbard. And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
For the field goal, a 43-yard attempt.
And his kick is good. And that will push the lead up to 5. So they get to 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. Oh, nice move. And able to get this out to the 25. The Commanders' offense returning to the field. The last series for them, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. They go play action. Daniels. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
His running ability has been an extra dimension of their game plan thus far. For once, though, he doesn't create any magic against the front that's prepared for him to try and take off.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. To the air goes Daniels. Now a run here off the RPO. He'll keep it. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. The escapability in evidence there is that one good for 15 and a 1st.
If they get a game-changing score on this drive, it's going to be because of plays like that. That run was pure heart. Took it himself, found a way to reset the downs, and advance the ball.
Now Daniels. Now he'll tuck this and run. They'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at 2nd down.
So many times we talk about having good eye discipline when you're playing defense, making sure your eyes are in the proper place on a given play. Looks like that discipline came to the front there, didn't it? They were able to hold him for a short gain when he took off running.
From just shy of midfield, here's 2nd down at 7. Here's Daniels. That'll be complete to Okonkwo. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to, pick up a 1st down.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. They will run with White out of the shotgun. Down inside the 40.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
From the 39-yard line, here comes 2nd down at 6. Daniels looking to throw. The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. Bobby Brown able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down. Working out of the gun, Daniels. A throw left sideline falls incomplete. The fourth and very long coming up. You're out of field goal range. I don't know that you can go for this.
Well, I know that you want to, right? You know that they want to say, hey, let's go for this. We've got the perfect play drawn up. Let's do it. But I wouldn't go for it either. I agree with you totally. You're only down one score. Punt it. Let your defense pick you up.
So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away. And this will be taken at the 13. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Panthers offense and Bryce Young headed back onto the field. And he has been masterful so far in leading this offense. He's kept the mistakes to a minimum. He's been on point with his passes. And he's generally been one step ahead of this defense all game long. A gain of 8 there on the play. And they'll be left with second and a couple.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
They'll run a draw now with Hubbard. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 42 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
And this is exactly what you're looking to do offensively. If you can start stringing some runs together like this, you'll keep churning out first downs, and that's going to put you in a great position to carry this one home.
First down, they'll stay on the ground with Hubbard. And strong running there as he's across midfield and down to the 49. 14 yards, good for a Panther first down.
Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You taking charge.
And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
It's a gain of 9.
I know you're trying to wring every yard out of a run, but I think 9 yards there is ideal in this situation.
Yeah, now next couple plays, you only need 1 yard. Keep that clock rolling with a lead here in the 4th.
Yeah, what you're saying is maybe if it takes you 1 or 2 more runs to get the first down, that's extra time, extra plays. Really hurts the team on defense.
Oh, that one well designed as he'll take this down to the 30-yard line. 11 yards and a Panther first down.
Well, they didn't accomplish their goal. They didn't get a stop there, gave up another first down. They have all 3 timeouts in their pocket. I think defensively you've got to start thinking about using them here.
I was just going to ask you at what point you think now's the go time?
I think now's the go time. I don't think you sit back and wait because they can take a lot of time off the clock between plays and run 3 to 4 and really put you in a stressful spot.
Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
Won't hear the run. Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break.
1st and 10 at the 13-yard line.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. And they'll send the tight end in motion. On 1st and 10, it's Brooks. The Commanders going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. That's going to be their 2nd. They'll be left with 1 more plus the 2-minute warning, and we'll be back. Now, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
7 yards left for 2nd down. Ball at the 10. They'll try to throw now. Young. And now full incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's third down.
And when you're in a one-score game in the second half, now's not the time to force the football into places where you shouldn't. And that's a smart decision to just get that one out of there.
And this offense on third down today, they've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Touchdown, Panthers! From 10 yards out.
And the Panthers get an important score there to extend their lead here this fourth quarter. Well, that's certainly going to bump up the old win probability index because now it's a 2-score game here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you're taking me into that deep water now. Win probability index. This game's definitely not over. We're not looking at a 0.5% or something. It's just 2 scores. But the way that this team has played, to me, what I've seen, they absolutely deserve to win this game. They've been the better team by far throughout.
Fitzgerald now for the extra point. Oh, the snap, a poor one, and this is blocked.
It's picked up, a live ball here, remember. Following the botch PAT, they're set to kick this one away.
And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The Commanders' offense set to take over. And the script really is flipped for them. The momentum on the other sideline, and now they have to try and battle back from a 2-score deficit.
Throwing to start the drive. Daniels. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
Well, I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25. Operating from the gun, Daniels. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
In this situation, the dictation is coming from the defense, right? They're going to tell you, you can have 6, 7 yards, do that all the way downfield. Let's just go ahead and take the time off the clock. I think they've got to start attacking vertically a lot more.
Daniels from the gun on 3rd down.
And he will have a first down here at about the 40.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports.
1st and 10 at the 40.
So it's Commanders football as we get back to it.
They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score.
From the shotgun, it's Daniels.
And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory.
He's been making himself a weapon as a runner, and the results, they've been welcomed by his offense. My question is about the defense we're watching right now, partner. Even after he got him with a scramble earlier this drive, they still aren't devoting enough attention to him. I would expect that after that carry, they'll do a much better job going forward, spying on him on passing downs.
Pulled in by Brown toward the sideline.
And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Defensively here, you've got the cushion, but back-to-back pretty big pass plays there. Bend but don't break, but are they bending too much?
I think that they are.
And now it appears that the referee's been buzzed, and we'll get a review. And this being inside 2 minutes of play, everything coming from up above. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. So the folks in New York just going to wind up confirming what the officials saw as this play will stand as is.
Looked to me like they adopted what my kindergarten teacher always said. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And finally, able to hold him in check. He'd been carving him up running the ball.
That's the first time I think I've seen where the coverage was good downfield and they accounted for him and stopped him for a short pickup.
Yeah, I don't think it was a big adjustment, but much more emphasis on making sure they knew where he was when he decided to take off and go.
Now Daniels going to keep it. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
These are running back numbers that he's accumulating right now. Received double-digit carries and has rewarded them by breaking the century mark in rushing, in addition to what he's done through the air. Definitely MVP caliber football we're witnessing.
Well, they need to score, and score quick. One timeout remaining. Final minute, 1st and 10. This throw caught right around the 6. Now Washington going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this 4th quarter.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
Here we go, 1st and goal. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he will bring this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Panther touchdown. So a 4th quarter pick 6 here, and that one might put this game out of reach, CD.
I certainly agree with that, partner. And I know one thing, though. That team that just got the pick 6, they're going to keep playing until this one's over. Better be careful. They're looking to get another one.
On is Fitzgerald now for the PAT. He missed one earlier, remember, but this time he gets it to go. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. Following the touchdown, this is Fitzgerald now to send this one away. And he'll wisely just take a knee here, and this ball will come out to the 30-yard line. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. It's complete to Brown, right side. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
And that one too wide and incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
Here's Tressway now as he's on for the 5th time here today. Fair catch called for and made at the 16 or maybe the 17-yard line. Well, somebody lit a fire under that offense during the break, Charles. Remember, they trailed at intermission. They come out, they have the big second half, and that lifts them to the victory.
And, Brandon, trailing at halftime, we always talk about teams making adjustments. You know what the best adjustments usually are? It's just executing better. Because the game plan you put in place at the beginning of the week often still holds. You don't have to make wholesale changes. You just have to do it a little bit better, a little cleaner. And they did that in the second half, and that led them to victory.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. The Panthers are winners here as we say so long from Charlotte.